G'day, I'm Tim Thompson and welcome to the midweek review. This week we're having a look at two security camera options from a company called Reolink. Both of these security cameras have no cables, have SD card backup, upload their content to the web, are colour, have night vision, and both are solar powered, meaning that I don't have any cables to install, which I think makes them ideal for rural crime prevention. Now, I've never used security cameras before and I've never installed them, so this review is more about me and whether or not someone with no experience can set these little monsters up and run a reasonable security program around the home. I have used trail cameras before for security related purposes, but they've got a few limitations. They don't warn you if someone's there. They can only record the crime in the hope that you pick up the footage later on. So they don't deter theft or damage. The second problem is, if you don't check them regularly, they can run out of batteries and be completely useless. Or third, they can record footage you don't want and clog up the SD card. But I think most importantly and most critically for these things, the quality of image is often an issue, particularly with the cheaper models. While they might have a high resolution, the quality of the sensor is low, meaning that the saturation and the depth of quality of the image, regardless of the resolution, is actually quite grainy. And you can't pick up details like license plates or faces from more than a few metres away. So whilst this is better than nothing, I think the new security cameras are going to up my security a whole heap. So these little guys look like they might solve a few of my security concerns around the rural landscape. Let's unbox them, let's install them, and let's see how we go. So first up, we've got the Argus 3 Pro. Let's see what you get in the pack. There's a solar panel with a really good long cord so you can mount it remotely from the camera. There's a mounting pole for the solar panel. There's the camera itself, plus two different types of mounting plates for the camera and a strap. The order of the day seems to be to copy Steve Jobs, and everything is white. What's wrong with camo? Camo goes with everything. So let's do a really careful unboxing of the Go PT and see what we get in the pack. Okay, so it's very similar. We end up with our mounting point. We end up with another solar panel, exactly the same size as you get. I'd say it's the same solar panel as you get with the Argus. USB cable, attractive white belt, piece of foam, that's always handy. Looks like you get some sort of mounting plate here for the camera so that you can then stick this to a wall or something. So there's a mounting plate there. Crucially, this is running on your mobile data networks, so you're getting an aerial so that you can pick up mobile data, instructions, and some mounting screws. This looks super cool. It looks like R2-D2's baby. I can't wait to get into this. Let's now charge up both of the cameras overnight, and while we're doing that, I'll get to setting up some posts and some mounts for the rest of the hardware. Naturally, digging the hole went as smoothly as normal, and I hit a water main. So once we fixed the water main and finished digging the hole out, we were ready to go to install the security camera. That's why this video is now a day late. Setup was really easy. Both of them have a slightly different setup routine. With this one, there was a bit of taking photos of a QR code on your phone and all this sort of stuff to log you into your Wi-Fi network. With this one, to be honest with you, the setup was so easy. The hardest part was actually activating the SIM card from the mobile provider. Why don't they make that easy? If you can activate a SIM card, you can turn this on no problem at all. And if you can put your password in for your Wi-Fi network and take a photo of something with your camera, you can set this up in under 2 minutes. Installing the camera itself was really easy. All I needed was 2 screws. Installed. That easy. Next, I had to put up the solar panel. Once again, it's a simple process. Attach the mast, screw the solar panel on, job's done. And the Argus 3 proved just as easy to mount. A few screws, attach the camera, set up the mounting post for the solar panel near the sun, attach the solar panel and plug it all together. You're up and going in less than a minute. So I set these two cameras up in different locations that I initially thought were suited to them, and I've learned a lot about how to set up security cameras through that process. I'm going to take you through a few of the learnings now. So the Argus 3, I had it pointed towards the back gate where I thought I had a reasonable Wi-Fi signal. The footage both during the day and at night was pretty good and gave me a pretty clear shot of the gate. The problem with this location though was that even though I'm only 10 metres away from the house, the wall of the house meant I had patchy Wi-Fi connection. And in fact, that patchy connection led to me being able to come in and out of the gate at times without the camera picking it up. Also, when I did record, at times I had really patchy video feed because the signal strength was too poor. So what I've learned is that this camera is ideal if you're actually attaching it to the house. But if you're 10 metres or more away from the house, you're probably going to have a low Wi-Fi signal, which will make this style of camera potentially a poor choice. The other thing I'll point out with the Argus 3 is that it doesn't come with an SD card built in like the Go PT does. You have to buy that separately, so there is an extra expense of 20 or 30 bucks to get yourself an SD card for recording. Whether that's important to you or not, that's another thing. So I'm going to change the location of this camera to look after my front entrance and mount it to the wall of the house. That should give me much better Wi-Fi connectivity and allow this camera to fully use all of its features. Now we've got the Go PT, and what are the learnings from this? Well, I originally thought this was a perfect mounting point because it gives me a clear view down the driveway, and then if I rotate the camera, I've got a clear view of the front door of the house. The problem is, if you're going to have a mounting place like this, what you really need to do is install a gate at the front of the driveway and have it closed so that it prevents people from driving straight up the drive at 20 k's an hour, because there's a 3 or 4 second delay with the motion sensor turning the camera on. And with a car going about 15 to 20 kilometres an hour up the driveway, all you got was the streak of the tail lights as the camera first turned on, and then blank footage. So you really need to put these cameras where people are going to be naturally slowed down or stopped for a few seconds to give them the opportunity to turn on and start recording the footage. Thankfully, it's really easy to move this camera. All I've got to do is take out a couple of screws and I can put it wherever I want around the property. So for me, the solution is really simple. I'm simply going to swap the two cameras over. Where I had the Reolink PT watching my front entrance, I'm going to relocate the Argus 3 to the corner of the house, and that sees the front entrance and where cars would naturally pull up. I'm then going to move the Reolink PT to the back of the property, overlooking the shed and the back entrance, and that's going to provide me once again with enough time for the motion sensor to activate the camera, because people will have to either break through the gate or open it. Hopefully they just open it. Now I can't wait for the expert comments, absolutely pasting my setup, but here's the camera setup. Looking at the front door, I've got a few cable clamps or clips set up to try and stop it from being caught on anything, and I've got the solar panel facing north at the angle of my latitude plus 5 degrees to try and get the maximum amount of charge. Once again, a couple of screws and the Go PT was in position at the back gate and the shed. And with its mobile data coverage, it doesn't matter about Wi-Fi range at all. You can not only view and record footage over the app on your phone, but you can also press a speaker button and communicate through the loudspeaker on the camera.
Who are you barking at, honey? What are you doing? Honey? What are you doing? You can really mess with your dog with this product. Come on, come here.
And now I've I've got the Argus 3 Pro, and as you can see, it's covering not only the front entrance to our house, but also anyone who's stupid enough to come through into the dog yard and meet Honey. So this camera is ideal for this situation, and if you have good Wi-Fi coverage around your house and you want some security cameras attached to your front and back entrances, then the Argus 3 Pro is probably the way to go. You'll save some money. Bear in mind it doesn't come pre-installed with an SD card, you'll have to buy one separately. But there is also the option to upload your footage directly into the cloud, and I think it costs you about $5 US a month for up to 5 cameras to do that. I'm just using the single camera on that feature, which comes for free. I'll be getting a couple more of these, probably one more of these and one more of these. The Go PT is perfect for anywhere that's 10 metres or more away from the house, where you can't rely on a consistent and solid Wi-Fi connection to your router at home. And it uses cellular data, so it does come with an ongoing cost. I signed up for a $15 365-day expiry deal, and we'll see how long the data lasts. So it's not too bad. The Argus 3, perfect if you've got connection to a Wi-Fi network, and it does come with a higher resolution sensor than the Go PT. Although, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want a higher resolution sensor if I'm paying for the data. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. I've learnt an awful lot about security cameras by getting to play with these, and it's been an amazing learning experience, and hopefully I've provided some tips for you guys that are looking at protecting your rural properties from crime. Put the security cameras in places where people are going to be delayed or slowed. This will give the sensors more time to turn the camera on and operate. You'll also get less blurry footage that you can take stills out of. Put the cameras within 10 to 20 metres of whatever you want to protect. That way you can be assured that fine details will show up on their resolution, both during the daytime and at night time. Both of these cameras have exceptional nighttime clarity, and I have no hesitation in recommending them, and I think for their price they probably punch above their weight in terms of what else is out there on the market. Setup was really easy. Both of them have a slightly different setup routine. With this one there was a bit of taking photos of a QR code on your phone and all this sort of stuff to log you into your Wi-Fi network. With this one, to be honest with you, the setup was so easy. The hardest part was actually activating the SIM card from the mobile provider. Why don't they make that easy? If you can activate a SIM card, you can turn this on no problem at all. And if you can put your password in for your Wi-Fi network and take a photo of something with your camera, you can set this up in under 2 minutes. Guys, I hope this was useful for you. I've certainly enjoyed playing around with the new technology, and if anyone else wants me to try out some tech for the farm, just get in contact through the website at timthompson.ag. In the meantime, if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. There's plenty more content every week, and you can also find out about all of my past work on timthompson.ag. See you next week.